Al-Azhar University Jamiat Al-Azhar, IPA, AEMALZHREA. The Azhar University is a university in Cairo, Egypt, associated with Al-Azhar Mosque in Islamic Cairo. It is Egypt's oldest degree-granting university and is renowned as Sunni Islam's most prestigious university. In addition to higher education, Al-Azhar oversees a national network of schools with approximately 2 million students. As of 1996, over 4,000 teaching institutes in Egypt were affiliated with the university. Founded in 970 or 972 by the Fatimids as a center of Islamic learning, its students studied the Quran and Islamic law in detail, along with logic, grammar, rhetoric, and how to calculate the lunar phases of the moon. It was one of the first universities in the world and the only one to survive as a modern university including secular subjects in the curriculum. It is today the chief center of Arabic literature and Islamic learning in the world. In 1961, additional non-religious subjects were added to its curriculum. Its mission is to propagate Islam and Islamic culture. To this end, its Islamic scholars render edicts on disputes submitted to them from all over the Sunni Islamic world regarding proper conduct for Muslim individuals and societies. Al-Azhar also trains Egyptian government-appointed preachers in proselytization. Its library is considered second in importance in Egypt only to the Egyptian National Library and Archives. In May 2005, Al-Azhar, in partnership with the Dubai Information Technology Enterprise (IT Education) project, launched the Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum project to preserve Al-Azhar scripts and publish them online, with the mission of eventually providing online access to the library's entire rare manuscripts collection. History. Al-Azhar University is one of the relics of the Ismaili Shia Fatima dynasty era of Egypt, descended from Fatima, daughter of Muhammad and wife of Ali, son-in-law and cousin of Muhammad. Fatima was called Al-Zahra, and it was named in her honor. It was founded as mosque by the Fatimid commander Jafar at the orders of the Caliph and Ismaili Imam al-Mu'izz as he founded the city for Cairo. It was in Jamadi al-Awwal in the year 359 AH. Its building was completed on the 9th of Ramadan in the year 361 AH. Both Al-Aziz Billah and Al-Hakim by Amr Allah added to its premises. It was further repaired, renovated and extended by Al-Mustanzir Billah and Al-Hafiz Din Illah. Fatimid caliphs always encouraged scholars and jurists to have their study circles and gatherings in this mosque, and thus it was turned into a university which has the claim to be considered as the oldest university still functioning. Studies began at Al-Azhar in the month of Ramadan, 975. According to Saeed Ferrad al-Attas, the Jamia had faculties in Islamic law and jurisprudence, Arabic grammar, Islamic astronomy, Islamic philosophy, and logic. The Fatimids gave attention to the philosophical studies at the time when rulers in other countries declared those who were engaged in philosophical pursuits as apostates and heretics. The Greek thought found a warm reception with the Fatimids, who expanded the boundaries of such studies. They paid much attention to philosophy and gave support to everyone who was known for being engaged in the study of any branch of philosophy. The Fatimid Caliph invited many scholars from nearby countries and paid much attention to college books on various branches of knowledge and in gathering the finest writing on various subjects, and this in order to encourage scholars and to uphold the cause of knowledge. These books were destroyed by Salahuddin Ayyubi in the 12th century, following the overthrow of the Ismaili Shia Fatimid dynasty. Saladin converted Al-Azhar to a Shafi'ite Sunni center of learning. Saladin had jealousy for the Fatimids, and therefore, the Encyclopedia of Islam writes that he had all the treasures of the palace, including the books, sold over a period of 10 years. Many were burned, thrown into the Nile, or thrown into a great heap, which was covered with sand, so that a regular hill of books was formed, and the soldiers used to sole their shoes with the fine bindings. The number of books said to have disposed of varies from 120,000 to 2 million. Abd al-Latif delivered lectures on Islamic medicine at Al-Azhar, while according to legend the Jewish philosopher Maimonides delivered lectures on medicine and astronomy there during the time of Saladin, though no historical proof has corroborated this. In 1961, Al-Azhar was established as a university under the government of Egypt's second president Gamal Abdel Nasser, when a wide range of secular faculties were added for the first time, such as business, economics, science, pharmacy, medicine, engineering and agriculture. Before that date, the Encyclopedia of Islam classifies the Al-Azhar variously as madrasa, center of higher learning, and, since the 19th century, religious university, but not as a university in the full sense, referring to the modern transition processes from madrasa to university. An Islamic women's faculty was also added in the same year, 6 years after Zaibun Nissa Hamidullah had been the first woman to speak at the university. Religious ideology. Al-Azhar has a membership that represents the theological schools of Al-Ash'ari and Al-Maturidi, the 4 schools of Sunni Islamic jurisprudence, and the 7 main Sufi orders. Al-Azhar has had an antagonistic relationship with Wahhabism and Salafism. According to a 2011 report issued by the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, Al-Azhar is strongly Sufi in character. Adherence to a Sufi order has long been standard for both professors and students in the Al-Azhar mosque and university system. Although Al-Azhar is not monolithic, its identity has been strongly associated with Sufism. The current Sheikh Al-Azhar, Ahmed El-Tayeb, is a hereditary Sufi sheikh from Upper Egypt who has recently expressed his support for the formation of a World Sufi League. The former Grand Mufti of Egypt and senior Al-Azhar scholar Ali Gomar is also a highly respected Sufi master. The 19th and current Grand Mufti of Egypt and Al-Azhar scholar, Shawka Ibrahim Abdul Karim Alam, is also a Sufi. Council of Senior Scholars. Al-Azhar University's Council of Senior Scholars was originally founded in 1911 but was replaced in 1961 by the Center for Islamic Research. In July 2012, after the law restricting Al-Azhar University's autonomy was modified by the incoming president Mohamed Morsi, the council was reformed. The council consists of 40 members and as of February 2013 had 14 vacancies, all appointed by the current Imam of Al-Azhar, Ahmed El-Tayeb, who was appointed by the prior president, Hosni Mubarak. Once the remaining 14 vacancies are filled, new vacancies will be appointed by the existing council itself. All 4 madhahib of Sunni Islamic jurisprudence are proportionally represented on the council and voting is on a majority basis. In addition to El-Tayeb, other prominent members of the council include the outgoing Grand Mufti Ali Gomar and Qatar-based Islamic scholar Yusuf al-Qaradawi. The council is tasked with nominating the Grand Mufti of Egypt, electing the next Grand Imam of Al-Azhar Mosque, and is expected to be the final authority in determining if new legislation is compliant with Islamic law. Although the Council's decisions are not binding, it is expected that it would be difficult for the Parliament to pass legislation deemed by the Council as against Islamic law. In January 2013, Al-Tayeb referred a relatively minor issue related to Islamic bonds to the Council, for the first time asserting the Council's jurisdiction. In 2013, the Council elected Shawka Ibrahim Abdul Karim Alam to be the next Grand Mufti of Egypt. This marks the first time that the Grand Mufti would be elected by Islamic scholars since the position was created in 1895. Prior to this, the Egyptian head of state made the appointment. Political views. Sheikh Mohammed Saeed Tantaway noted that among the priorities of Muslims are to master all knowledge of the world and the hereafter, not least the technology of modern weapons to strengthen and defend the community and faith. He added that mastery over modern weaponry is important to prepare for any eventuality or prejudices of the others. Although Islam is a religion of peace, Sheikh Tantaway also reasserted that his is the best faith to follow and that Muslims have the duty of active dawa. He has made declarations about Muslims interacting with non-Muslims who are not a threat to Muslims. There are non-Muslims living apart from Muslims and who are not enemies of Islam, and there are the non-Muslims who live in the same country as the Muslims in cooperation and on friendly terms, and are not enemies of the faith. Shia fiqh is accepted as a fifth school of Islamic thought. On freedom of speech in October 2007, Mohammed Saeed Tantaway, then the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar, drew allegations of stifling freedom of speech when he asked the Egyptian government to toughen its rules and punishments against journalists. During a Friday sermon in the presence of Egyptian Prime Minister Ahmed Natsif and a number of ministers, Tantaway was alleged to have stated that journalism which contributes to the spread of false rumors rather than true news deserved to be boycotted, and that it was tantamount to sinning for readers to purchase such newspapers. Tantaway, a supporter of then Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak, also called for a punishment of 80 lashes to those who spread rumors, in an indictment of speculation by journalists over Mubarak's ill health and possible death. This was not the first time that he had criticized the Egyptian press regarding its news coverage, nor the first time he in return had been accused by the press of opposing freedom of speech. During a religious celebration in the same month, Tantaway had released comments alluding to the arrogant and the pretenders who accuse others with the ugliest vice and unsubstantiated charges. In response, Egypt's press union issued a statement suggesting that Tantaway appeared to be involved in inciting and escalating a campaign against journalists and freedom of the press. Tantaway died in 2010 and was succeeded by Muhammad Ahmed El-Tayeb. Notable people associated with the university: 10th–11th centuries Fatimid commander Jafar at the orders of the Caliph Al-Mu'izz, Al-Aziz Billah and Al-Hakim bi-Amr Allah, Al-Mustanzir Billah and Al-Hafiz Lead-in Illah. 19th, early 20th centuries Muhammad Abdu and Sayyid Jamaluddin Afghani, founder of Islamic modernism, Izz-ad-Din al-Qasim, founder and leader of Black Hand, Muhammad Amin al-Husseini, Mufti of Jerusalem, Ahmed Orabi, Egyptian nationalist and army general who led the Urabi revolt against Khedive Tewfik. 1910s–1950s Hassan al-Banna, founder of the Muslim Brotherhood, Mehmed Hanzic, a leader of Bosnian revivalists, one of authors of Resolution of Sarajevo Muslims and chairman of the Committee of National Salvation, Omar Abd al-Rahman, leader of Al-Gamma al-Islamiyya, which has been designated a terrorist group by the governments of the United States and Egypt, currently serving a life term for the 1993 World Trade Center bombing. Taqiyuddin al-Nabhani, the leader and founder of the Islamic political party, Hezb ut-Tahrir. Sheikh Ahmed Yassin, co-founder and leader of Hamas. Saad Zaloul, leader of 1919 revolution in Egypt. Taha Hussein, influential Egyptian writer and intellectual. Muhammad Marjan, translator of the Quran into the Chinese language. Ahmad Mesheri al-Adwani, Kuwaiti poet and writer of Kuwait's national anthem Al-Nasheed al-Watani. Ahmad al-Ghumari, Moroccan cleric, enrolled in 1921, dropped out due to a death in the family. Abdullah al-Ghumari, Moroccan cleric, graduated from Al-Azhar in 1931. Abu Turab al-Dahiri, Indian-born Saudi Arabian writer. 1950 Present Aliko Dangote, Nigerian business mogul and richest man in Africa, studied business at Al-Azhar. Actor Raza Khan, the de facto Grand Mufti of India. Muhammad Burhanuddin, Dai of Dawudi Bora researched and rediscovered Al-Azhar University's past history and was awarded Ph.D. from Al-Azhar University. Abdullah Yusuf Azam, a highly influential Palestinian Sunni Islamic scholar and theologian. Shia Jamar Ahmed, Somali linguist who devised a Latin script for the Somali language. Mahmoud Shaltut, Grand Sheikh of Al-Azhar, issued in 1959 a fatwa, declaring that Al-Azhar recognizes Shi'ism as a valid branch of Islam. Abdul Halim Mahmoud, Grand Sheikh of Al-Azhar, introduced the study of Sufism as a science through his writings and lectures on the matter. Ahmed Subhi Mansour, Islamic scholar, cleric, and founder of the Quranists, who was exiled from Egypt, and lives in the United States as a political refugee. Taha Jabir al-Alwani, president of Cordoba University, former chairman of the Fiqh Council of North America, and the president of the International Institute of Islamic Thought in Herndon, Virginia. Abdurrahman Wahid, former president of Indonesia. Muhammad Saeed Tantaway, former Grand Imam of Al-Azhar. Muhammad Metwali al-Sharaway is an Egyptian Muslim jurist. Mamoun Abdul Gayoom, former president of the Republic of Maldives. Abdullah Saeed, former Chief Justice, and Justice Supreme Court of the Republic of Maldives. Abdullah Muhammad, Chief Judge, Criminal Court of the Republic of Maldives. Fadhullah Jamil, former Foreign Minister of Maldives. Muhammad Jamil Didi, Maldives author and writer. Nik Abdulaziz Nikmat Mirza Ulam of the Pan-Malaysian Islamic Party and former Menteri Besar of the Malaysian state of Kelantan. Abdul Hadi Awang, president of the Pan-Malaysian Islamic Party and former Menteri Besar of the Malaysian state of Terengganu. Professor Dato Diarmod Fakhruddin Abdul Mukti. Osama Youssef, founder and CEO of Divan Videos. List of presidents of Al-Azhar University. List of universities in Egypt. Outside Egypt: Al-Azhar University, Gaza. Al-Azhar University, Doha.